Hello all. In this tutorial we will see how to configure a software module for Modbus read operations. First and foremost, we need a Modbus RS485-2 USB cable, and you will be able to purchase it from the imopc.com. You can see the part number of this cable in the brochures. Enter the username and password in the IMO Gateway website. And here you'll be able to see the iConnect which we have configured before. Click on the modules, and here we have the repository modules, and under the repository modules we have the Modbus. So you'll be able to configure the Modbus function in this repository modules, and you can save it to a customer module. Here I have a customer module already which I have configured. So I have a database type which is the MySQL. I have all the other details for the database such as host name, username, password, database, and the table. Here I do have a module name which is a user configurable, so you can give any name there like site A, site C, or something like that. Here we can configure the node ID, which is the Modbus ID of the slave device which you would like to talk or communicate to. And here is the register, which is 40,005. Here in this example I have connected one iSmart intelligent relay, and the 40,005 is the digital input register, and the 0.0 indicates the digital input number 1. So I have input 1, and here I have used another output register which is a 40,007 with Modbus ID number 1, and I can give a name and description to it. And the database field is field 0001 up to field 0006. And here I have minimum threshold and max. So this is the minimum threshold is basically if you enter a value here like 5 for example, then the database will have a log only if the value of 40,007 goes by more than 5 or less than 5 to the current value. So if the last value was 10 for example, then if the new 40,007 value is 4, then it will log it, or 5 it will log it. But if it is 6, that is 10 minus 6 is only 4, so the threshold is low, so it won't do the logging operation. So if it is 15, it will still do it, but not for 11. And if I do have the value as 5 and 10 here for the max, then what will happen is if the value is between 5 and 10, it won't log it. But if it is 4, it will log it. If it is 11, it will log it. So after configuring the database, click on the save settings, and then you will be able to log on to the database table. So I am using a Navicat function tool for seeing the MySQL table. There are many other MySQL tools as well, like ADSQL. You can choose your own as required. The two other functions of the MySQL database is basically it will log and monitor all the values to the database, and you will be able to monitor those values by going and checking it in the database table, or you will be able to issue a query to the database table from a database front end, and then you will be able to get the value in the front end, and you will be able to use it for monitoring purposes. So I'm going to use the Navicat tool, Navicat for MySQL. It's a trial version which I'm using. So here you can see the file, new connection, MySQL. You can give a connection name to it, any name, and there is a host name, and you will be able to get the host name by copying this one, and the username and the password. So when you first create the module, you will be able to see the password here. So copy the password and save it somewhere safe, and then you will be able to copy the same thing here to the password and press OK, and that will create a Modbus table like this. So iConnect underscore VT, so that is the database table. Double click on that and you will be able to see the database name, so which is gateway underscore data. So you'll be able to say this. So double click on that and then you will be able to see a table, which you will be able to see it here as well. So double click on that table and you will be able to see all the different entries to the database table. So we will see the last one. So the last entry is at 11:19. So it's having a field 003, it's having a value 1, and let us check here. So field 003 is input 2. So currently we have the input 2 as 1, so that is a digital input. I'm going to change the digital input 2 to 0 and the digital input number 3 to 1. So when you refresh the table again, you will be able to see the number 1 in the field 3 got 0, and then the field number 4 got 1. So between those times you will be able to see 0 in both registers, and the field 4 has been changed to number 1. So field 4 is the input 3, which got the new digital input status as on. So this is how we configure the Modbus read operations, and as I have told before, you will be able to log all the different status which you have configured in the module to a database. You will be able to either monitor the database using database tools like Navicat for MySQL or ADSQL. Alternatively, you will be able to issue a query to the Modbus database, and then you will be able to get the status of the controller, and then you will be able to use it to display it in your application website or application front end, which you will be able to use it for monitoring purposes. Thank you for watching this video.